Chapter 4. Mrs. Stoker is a joker. When we got back to our classroom, Mr. Cooper wasn't there yet, so of course I climbed up on my chair and shook my butt at everybody. Arlo, sit down, said Andrea, rolling her eyes. Chalex, I told the little Miss Perfect. It's June. School will be over in a few days. We are allowed to goof off. And you'll never believe who walked into the door at the moment. Nobody. Why would walk into a door? You could break your nose, but you'll never believe who walked into the doorway. It was our new principal, Mrs. Stoker. I thought she was going to punish me for climbing up on my chair and shaking my butt at the class, but she didn't. Hey, third grade, Mrs. Stoker said cheerfully. Are you excited about graduation? Yes, shouted all the girls. No, shouted all the boys. That reminds me, said Mrs. Stoker. Do you know why M&Ms want to graduate? No, why? We all said. So they can turn into Smarties, said Mrs. Stoker. Get it? We all laughed, even though it wasn't funny. We should always laugh at the principal's jokes, even when they are not funny. That's the first rule of being a kid. Speaking of graduation, said Mrs. Stoker, I may have to wear sunglasses to the ceremony, because you're all so bright. Get it? Bright. Sunglasses. We get it, we all said. Before she was our principal, Mrs. Stoker was a stand-up comedian. She tells her jokes all the time. Do you know why the fish didn't graduate? Asked Mrs. Stoker. Because it didn't show up for school, I guessed, asterisk. I thought that was pretty genius because the fish swim around in schools. No, said Mrs. Stoker. The fish didn't graduate because its grades were on the sea. Get it? On the sea, on the sea. After a few more of Mrs. Stoker's bad jokes, it became harder and harder to pretend that they were funny. Tall people graduate at the top of their class, continued Mrs. Stoker, and Mr. Will, the ice cream man, graduated from Sunday school. Get it? Ice cream, Sunday school. I thought she was never going to stop, but finally she did. Anyway, she said, Mrs. Stoker, I heard you kids were planning your graduation. I just thought I'd stop to see how you were making out. Ah, gross. We are not planning our graduation, said Alexia. Mrs. Rupi is doing all the work. She wants us to have Teddy Roosevelt, Susan B. Anthony, or Thomas Edison be our guest speaker. What's wrong with them? Asked Mrs. Stoker. They are great American heroes. We don't want some boring old dead person, I said. Yeah, it's not fair, agreed Ryan. Well, who do you want to speak at your graduation? Asked Mrs. Stoker. We want Lil Mouse, said Neil. I figured that Mrs. Stoker wouldn't know who Lil Mouse was because she's old and old people don't know anything. Do you mean Lil Mouse, the rapper? Asked Mrs. Stoker. You've heard of Lil Mouse? I asked. Sure, said Mrs. Stoker. You may not believe this, but Lil Mouse is my nephew. What? No way, said Michael. Yes way, replied Mrs. Stoker. Wait, said Alexia. Is this another one of your jokes? No, Mrs. Stoker said as she took out her smartphone and showed us a picture of Lil Mouse. He's my brother's son. I love Lil Mouse, said Andrea. Me too, said Emily, who loves anything Andrea loves. Everybody loves Lil Mouse, said Neil. Would you like me to invite Lil Mouse to speak at graduation? Asked Mrs. Stoker. Yes, shouted all the girls. Yes, shouted all the boys. Mrs. Stoker took out her smartphone again and typed a few words on the keypad. You have Lil Mouse's cell phone number? Asked Alexia. Of course, Mrs. Stoker replied. I'm his favorite aunt. He's in the middle of a world tour. He may not be able to make it to graduation, but it can't hurt to ask, right? Cool, we all shouted. When she finished typing her text, she pushed the send and told us that Lil Mouse usually replied back to her in a day or two. But a few seconds later, her phone beeped. Excuse me, she said. Somebody is texting me. Oh, it's from Lil Mouse. What did he say? We all hollered. He says, He'll do it, said Mrs. Stoker. Yay! We all shouted. Everybody was yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering and jumping up and down. Lil Mouse was going to be the guest speaker. It was the greatest day of my life. We were going to have the best graduation in the history of graduations.